Very smart people built a star on Earth.
In reaction, they produced more energy.
A temperature of over 100 million degrees Celsius.
Deep inside Japan, a giant ring-shaped machine is trying to hold a piece of the sun in place. If that strange experiment succeeds, it will not just change one country's future. It could change how entire cities are powered for generations. The machine hidden in plain sight. In Naka, Japan, there is no giant public spectacle and no futuristic skyline glowing with neon light. Instead, behind the walls of a research site, a massive scientific machine is quietly pushing one of humanity's boldest energy ideas forward. That machine is JT-60SA, a joint project built by Japan and Europe, and it has become one of the most important fusion experiments on Earth. Its name sounds complex, but its role is clear. JT-60SA stands for Japan Taurus 60 Super Advanced, and it was designed as a superconducting tokamak. More importantly, it was built to help researchers understand how fusion plasmas can be controlled in ways that support ITER and guide the design of reactors that may come after it. That is what makes this machine so fascinating. It is not famous in the way rockets or electric cars are famous, yet it sits at the center of a technological gamble that could shape the future of energy. And to understand why, you first have to understand what a tokamak is actually trying to do. What a tokamak actually does. At the heart of this story is a wild idea. Build a machine on Earth that can recreate the same basic process that powers the sun. Fusion happens when light atomic nuclei join together and release energy. But that does not happen easily. Matter has to be heated into an extreme state called plasma, where temperatures soar so high that ordinary materials cannot hold it. That is where the tokamak comes in. A tokamak is a ring-shaped machine that uses powerful magnetic fields to confine this ultra-hot plasma, keeping it away from the walls long enough for scientists to study and control it. JT-60SA was built for exactly that kind of work, including high plasma current, strong heating, and long pulse operation. So this machine is not just making plasma for a moment and calling it progress. It is helping scientists learn how to keep that plasma stable, shape it properly, and operate it under demanding conditions. Once you see that, the next question becomes much bigger. Why did Japan decide to make this machine part of a larger global fusion mission? Why Japan built this before the future arrives? JT-60SA was built because fusion does not move forward in one giant leap. It advances through connected experiments, each one answering different parts of the puzzle. According to the project's official purpose, JT-60SA was designed to support ITER's operation through complementary research, while also helping scientists study how future fusion power plants could be operated more effectively. That gives Japan a very specific role in the global race. ITER is meant to prove that large-scale fusion is scientifically and technologically feasible. JT-60SA, by contrast, works as a partner machine, exploring plasma scenarios, control methods, and operating strategies that can make later reactors more practical. In other words, Japan did not build JT-60SA to wait on the sidelines. It helped build a machine that works alongside the broader international effort, gathering lessons before the next generation of reactors fully arrives. And after years of planning and assembly, that long preparation finally turned into a real operating milestone. The milestone that changed the mood. For a long time, JT-60SA existed mostly in plans, engineering work, and careful assembly. Then the project crossed a line that changed the mood entirely. It stopped being only a promise and became a working fusion experiment. Work on the project began in 2007, and the assembly phase was completed in March 2020. After that came commissioning, technical adjustments, and the final steps needed before operation. Then, on October 23, 2023, JT-60SA achieved its first plasma. That moment mattered because it transformed the machine from a giant construction effort into a live scientific system. By the time it was officially inaugurated in December 2023, JT-60SA had already been described as the most powerful experimental tokamak to date, and later it was presented as the world's largest tokamak until ITER begins operations. Suddenly, this quiet machine in Japan was no longer waiting for the future. It had entered it. Japan's roadmap, from experiments to demo. But JT-60SA only makes full sense when you step back and look at Japan's broader fusion roadmap. In Japan's official planning, fusion development is not a single machine story. It is a staged path that links ITER, JT-60SA, neutron source work, blanket development, fuel cycle research, and engineering design on the way toward DEMO, the future demonstration stage reactor. That roadmap matters because fusion is not useful just because plasma can be created. A real power-producing system must survive extreme conditions, manage fuel, handle neutron damage, support maintenance, and operate as a complete engineered plant. Japan's roadmap places JT-60SA in the part of that journey where scientists develop the operating knowledge needed for ITER and later demo systems. So the staircase becomes clear. First, learn how to control the plasma. Then connect that knowledge to harder engineering work. Then move toward demo, where fusion must prove it can function not only as science, but as a serious energy system. That long journey already sounded ambitious enough. Then, Japan's timeline began to shift. Then, the timeline started shifting. For years, fusion was treated as a technology of very long horizons. One machine would prepare the next, and every major advance would take years of work. Japan's earlier demo roadmap reflected that slow climb, pointing toward a demonstration phase around the middle of the century. Then the tone started to change. In 2025, Japan's National Fusion Strategy Revision Plan said the time frame for a power generation demonstration had been revised from around 2050 to the 2030s. The same update pointed toward a stronger national push, including a cabinet office task force, closer public-private coordination, and faster engineering work on prototype reactor technologies. That does not mean fusion was suddenly solved. It means Japan began speaking about fusion with greater urgency and stronger industrial intent. The country was no longer describing fusion only as a distant scientific project. It was beginning to frame it more openly as a future energy and technology platform, if the engineering could keep pace. The real engineering wall. And this is where the story becomes most honest. The hard part is not only creating plasma. The hard part is building a system that can operate reliably as a power plant. A real fusion reactor must withstand intense neutron damage, handle tritium safely, manage enormous heat loads, and support remote maintenance inside a machine that cannot simply be opened and repaired like ordinary equipment. Japan's roadmap highlights exactly these challenges through work on blankets, neutron source research, safety systems, fuel handling, and maintenance technologies for DEMO. This is the engineering wall standing in front of the fusion dream. Physics can open the door, but engineering has to build the house. That is why the title of this story needs an honest answer. Could it really power cities forever? Not by itself. JT-60SA is an experimental fusion device, not a commercial power station. It was built to study plasma behavior, support ITER-related research, and help prepare the path toward future demo-class reactors. But the dream behind it is still real. Fusion continues to attract global attention because it offers the possibility of large-scale, low-carbon electricity from fuel sources linked to widely available materials. That promise is why countries and institutions keep investing in machines like this, even though the path remains difficult and slow. So when people hear a title like "Could Power Cities Forever?", the truthful reading is this. JT-60SA is not the machine that would do that today. It is one of the advanced experiments helping researchers figure out how such a future might one day become possible. Why this hidden reactor matters now. What makes JT-60SA so important is not that it has already finished the fusion story. It is that it turns fusion from a vague promise into something measurable, operational, and real. In this one machine, physics, engineering, national strategy, and international cooperation all come together around the same question: can humanity build a controlled star on Earth? That is why this hidden reactor in Japan matters far beyond its own walls. It supports the road toward ITER, strengthens the pathway toward DEMO, and sits inside a national strategy that now speaks more boldly about commercialization and energy leadership. Japan is not claiming victory. It is building capability, one step at a time. And maybe that is the real story here. The future of energy may not arrive in one dramatic instant. It may arrive through hidden reactors, patient engineers, years of testing, and a slow human effort to turn impossible fire into everyday light. If this hidden machine in Japan ever helps unlock the future of fusion, the world may remember it as one of the quiet places where everything began to change. And if you enjoyed this journey into the future of energy, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories like this.